Good afternoon, my name is David Lane. I'm with Bulldog Rooter. Today's date is February 19th, 2018, and I'm about to perform a video inspection of the main line of 6424 North Elizabeth Street here in Spokane, Washington. The zip's 99208. Was out here on 12/4 of 17 for a secondary line issue. The customer started experiencing the same symptoms, water coming up from the floor drain. Thought that it was just the same secondary line. Got here and found the main line completely backed up. Located a back water valve in the right by the furnace and the water heater. Pulled the lid to the back water valve and found the back water valve holding. And then I proceeded to cable down the main line. Found that pulled the permit. The line is bituminous fiber, which is Orangeburg, and and then that brings us to this video inspection here. What we're looking at is the Spokane City Sewer. We're pulling back into the hub. This is a concrete line. The Orangeburg goes just to the property line, then it transitions to what looks like to me 6-inch concrete. Concrete is, I believe, one of the most preferred types of pipe that was set back in the olden days, I guess, for lack of a better word, back in the day. You can see that the concrete, it's got good joints. They seem to be, we should be pulling up on the joint here. See, that's a nice joint, not too much of an offset or separation. Concrete has a life expectancy of north of 100 years, 100 and a quarter. Continuing to pull back here, just passing 17 feet from the city sewer.
What do you got going on?
Recording a video. The bottom of the pipe is in the upper right hand corner of the screen. You'll always be able to tell where the bottom of the pipe is by where that water is, and of course by where the camera light head is. We got an aspect change in here. We drop down into a pretty big separation, and we have a pretty large root growth there. We punched a hole in it. That is about 24 feet. We'll call it 24 feet from the city sewer. Because of the shape of the Orangeburg pipe, this is a 6-inch pipe, and because of the shape of the Orangeburg pipe, probably the largest cutting blade we'd be able to send down this pipe is a 2-inch cutting blade, and we'd probably barely dent that root intrusion. I am going to offer that to the customer upon completion of the video inspection. Here we transition about 25.5 feet from the city sewer. We transition into the Orangeburg. You can see how the concrete has just a smooth surface, and we go right into the blistering. Orangeburg is the least preferred pipe that we see. It was introduced right after Pearl Harbor in the early 40s. 43 was probably the earliest we saw it. It's made of compressed tar paper and wood pulp, and you can see how the shape of the pipe is gone. The Orangeburg has 3 life stages: blistering, ovalization, then it eventually collapses. My camera lens is 1.5 inches thick, and you can see the size of these blisters. It doesn't look like we're in a smooth pipe anymore. Kind of looks like we're on top of the moon. There's some big, we're coming up over these blisters. There's a good shot of them. We rely on a 1/4-inch drop per linear foot to carry our wastewater out, just gravity. So you can see how the non-smooth surface, look at this blister. I mean, we're riding the top of the blister right now, but I mean, that thing is, look at that. I mean, that's That's large. I believe some of the pipe may be gone in some of these places. If we were to send down a bigger cutting blade down this pipe, we run the risk of damaging this pipe further to try to get that at that root. I mean, look at this. Doesn't look like the inside of a pipe anymore. Continuing to pull back. There's just some very, very large blisters here. I mean, can you imagine, trying to imagine waste, you know, my camera's even getting harder to pull my camera. It's riding in this crevice here. But that's huge right there. It's massive, massive blistering. Looks like the bottom of the pipe is gone there. See how far it just dips down where you see that standing water there? See, I sent down the smallest blade tip I got, and that's why you see some of the blistering is moved and broken. As soon as the line drained, I sent my cable probably 5 to 10 feet past the point where the line drained, and then I pulled it back because I was fighting it. And that's usually a sign of bad blistering. I didn't realize it was going to be this extensive. And here we transition back into the cast iron. So I believe we started at I want to say 25.5 feet, and we're at 51 right here. So we're looking at 24.5 feet, roughly, approximately 24.5 feet of Orangeburg pipe that needs, in my opinion, needs to be replaced. Cast iron is looking good. There's just a little bit of a valley. Over time, the water running down the center creates a valley. Nothing to be concerned about. Cast iron stubs out from the house 3 to 5 feet. So there where we saw that Orangeburg joint, here we're going around a fitting here. Where you saw that Orangeburg joint, that's just real close to the house there. Right where the cast iron stubs out. And here we're coming up out of the back water valve now. Get my camera lens wiped off. There's the back water valve that we're working from. Again, my name is David Lane. I'm with Bulldog Rooter. Today's date is February 19, 2018, and that will conclude your video inspection. Thank you very much for choosing Bulldog Rooter.